I've got a black card with $1 trillion limit, and it resets back to $1 trillion every single day. If I had 24 hours, could I actually spend it all? My fiancé hopped into some rich kid's car right in front of me, then called me a broke loser with no money and no future. Man, it felt like a knife to the chest. My fists just clenched up on their own. Ding, compatible host detected. Spending system now linked. Congrats, you've just been issued a Gold Digger's black card. Balance resets to $1 trillion every day. Every 100 million you spend earns 1 spending point, which can be redeemed for system items. The voice cut out, and just like that, a shiny black card appeared in my hand. $1 trillion a day. I stared at it, completely floored. The richest man in the world. You think he'd ever say he could drop $1 trillion a day? No way. But now I could. Didn't that make me richer than the richest man alive? The second that hit me, every cell in my body was buzzing. I lifted my head and looked straight at my fiancé, who was busy laughing it up. And I smiled too. No more holding back, no more playing nice. You want to cheat on me? Fine, I'm going after your best friend. I gripped the black card and walked toward a cute little girl who was watching the drama unfold. Her name was Wang Jiaojiao, bestie of Liu Ruyan, and one of the top 5 campus beauties. Before I even reached her, I'd already sent her 100k yuan on WeChat. The transfer came with a note. I know your brother's in the hospital. I'll cover the 100k in medical bills. I'm having a rough day. Keep me company. Then I walked up to Wang Jiaojiao, right in front of my fiancé Liu Ruyan, and said, "Hey, hang out with me today?" The second those words left my mouth, the crowd went dead silent. Then, boom, everyone started talking at once. What is he doing? Don't tell me he's trying to shoot his shot with Wang Jiaojiao. Is he crazy? Everyone at Dongda knows Wang Jiaojiao only dates rich guys. She literally said she's holding out for a wealthy man, she's the most famous gold digger on campus, and he thinks he's got a shot? This is a joke, right? Liu Ruyan watched the whole thing and let out a smug little laugh, her eyes full of contempt. She could already picture exactly how Wang Jiaojiao was about to humiliate me. A satisfied smirk spread across her face. She was so glad she dumped this broke loser when she did. The crowd was eating it up too, all waiting to watch me crash and burn. But then, the very next second, something happened that made everyone's jaw drop. Wang Jiaojiao looked up from her phone, face lighting up like a flower, a shy little blush on her cute round cheeks. And she nodded. It hit the crowd like a sledgehammer. Eyes went wide, mouths fell open. Nobody could believe what they just saw. Bro, am I seeing things? She said yes? He actually landed a date with Wang Jiaojiao? Liu Ruyan stood there with a blank stare, completely shocked. Wang Jiaojiao was her best friend, Dongda's most notorious gold digger. And this gold digger just agreed to go on a date with her ex. It was like getting slapped hard across the face. Her cheeks went red, and she was absolutely furious. Wang Jiaojiao! Liu Ruyan screamed, face dark with rage. But by the time those words came out, she realized Wang Jiaojiao had already walked off with me. She didn't even get a second glance. Nearby, Chuka noticed Liu Ruyan's expression and strolled over to comfort her. Babe, why bother with 2 broke nobodies? Stooping to their level just brings us down. He said it with that signature arrogant tone, watching us walk away with clear disdain in his eyes. That seemed to make Liu Ruyan feel a little better. Being with someone like that, Wang Jiaojiao must have lost her mind. She's basically signing up to be a stay-at-home wife for the rest of her life. Liu Ruyan almost looked forward to watching her regret it. A cold smirk crept onto her face. Alright babe, don't be mad. Let me take you jewelry shopping. We're heading to Qianda Plaza. Chuke wrapped his arm around Liu Ruyan's waist and they got back in the car. Meanwhile, Wang Jiaojiao had pocketed the 100k but still looked uneasy. She glanced over at me and asked, tone stiff, "So, where are we going?" "Where?" "Qianda Plaza, obviously. That place is basically a money pit. I needed to go on a spending spree. The system said I had to drop 100 million before I earned a single point, and those points unlock items. I had no idea what the items were, but if the system was offering them, they had to be something special. I was hyped to find out. Hey system, can I open the exchange store? Negative. First time access requires 10 spending points. Dude, seriously? So I had to spend 10 billion just to unlock the store? The system was literally forcing me to throw money around. Can you at least tell me what's in the exchange store? All items have been handpicked by the system. That information is classified. No previews. I threw up my hands, but honestly, that just made me more curious. Fine. 10 billion it is. I grabbed Wang Jiaojiao's hand and started walking. Come on, Qianda Plaza. I'm in a bad mood today. Come spend with me. My big hand wrapped around her small one, and Wang Jiaojiao's face went red as she tried to pull away. She didn't really like me. She had 0 feelings for me. The only reason she was even here was because of the 100k. Her brother had leukemia. The early treatment had already wiped out her family's savings, and what came next was going to cost a fortune. That's why she was hunting for a rich guy. But I'd handed over 100k without blinking. That caught her off guard. We grabbed a ride straight to Qianda Plaza. We walked into a restaurant, Wengxiang Pavilion. Wang Jiaojiao stopped at the entrance and stared at me in disbelief. She figured we'd hit up some random cheap spot. Wengxiang Pavilion? She could not hide the shock on her face. A single meal here could easily run over $1,000. This was way out of their league as students. And this dude brought her here? She was stunned, but also low-key annoyed. She figured I was just trying to show off to impress her. There's no way he actually had this kind of money. He probably raided his parents' savings. The moment that thought hit her, whatever tiny bit of goodwill Wang Jiaojiao had for me evaporated completely. Seeing Wang Jiaojiao's sour expression, I was honestly confused. I bring her to a nice restaurant and she's still unhappy? I just shook my head. I walked up and asked for a luxury private room. The staff said the minimum spend was 50k yuan. I nearly grinned ear to ear. I wasn't scared of spending money anymore. I was scared of not spending it. 50 grand felt way too low. I thought for a second and asked the server, You got anything higher end? Like a room with a 100K minimum? The server looked like he'd heard wrong. 50K isn't enough. Now he wants 100K? He gave me a hard once-over. Head-to-toe budget fits. Is this guy here to dine and ditch? Wang Jiaojiao looked mortified. She thought I was embarrassingly try-hard. Watching the server's skeptical face, she felt her dignity draining away. Coming out with me today was the biggest mistake she'd ever made. She was going to block me the second she got home. She'd already made up her mind. The first chance she got, she was out. She couldn't afford to lose any more face. Hey man, he was just joking! Wang Jiaojiao jumped in to do damage control. She was terrified the server was about to kick them both out. I didn't push it. I grabbed the menu, flipped through it, and said, "Just the two of us. Let's keep it simple." That actually made Wang Jiaojiao breathe a sigh of relief. She really didn't want me pulling any more stunts. I, on the other hand, was totally unbothered. $1 trillion in my pocket has a way of doing that to you. Money gives a man confidence. I smiled and said, "Cool, let's do the whole menu then." Wang Jiaojiao's head snapped toward me, staring like I'd lost my mind. This is keeping it simple? If you don't keep it simple, are you gonna buy the whole restaurant? The server just stood there for a second, frozen. Then he carefully asked, "Sir, our menu includes a lot of premium ingredients. Black truffle, sea cucumber, Australian lobster, etc. The full menu comes out to roughly 150K yuan. Are you sure?" I nodded. He took the menu and walked out. He went straight to the manager and laid out the whole situation, asking whether to serve them or throw them out. The manager heard that 2 people ordered 150K worth of food and went quiet for a moment. Then he waved his hand. "Serve them. But post a few security guards outside the room. If they try to skip out or pull any funny business, beat them good, then drag them to their parents to collect." The server nodded with a cold smile. Back at the table, Wang Jiaojiao took one look at my calm expression and snapped, "Okay, enough. I'm not trying to be mean, but do you actually have 150K? Because if I had to guess, that 100K you sent me was your family's entire savings. Showing off with your parents' hard-earned money. That's honestly disgusting." She didn't even try to hide the contempt on her face. I paused. Didn't expect Wang Jiaojiao, Miss Gold Digger herself, to say something like that. Honestly, that bumped her up a notch in my eyes. But I didn't explain myself. She wasn't going to believe me anyway. So why waste the breath? I fired back. "It's not coming out of my pocket. Why do I care?" Wang Jiaojiao blinked, then huffed. "Fine. I'll sit right here and watch you blow up your whole life trying to act rich." Go broke? That's literally the dream right now. I've got $1 trillion to burn and I've barely made a dent. The food came out fast. And honestly, Wangxiang Pavilion did not disappoint. Every dish was dialed in from the flavor to the plating. The table filled up quick and I went absolutely ham. The flavors just slowly took over my whole mouth. Peak satisfaction. Meanwhile, Wang Jiaojiao was eating like she was at her own funeral. She was terrified that if the bill came and we couldn't pay, they'd make them wash dishes, or worse, march them to their parents. That thought alone made her shoot me the most resentful looks between every bite. Worst case, she'd use that 100K I gave her as part of the bill, but that still left a 50K gap. The server, watching both of their expressions, was more convinced than ever. These two were definitely here to dine and ditch. He was on full alert. Then I swallowed a whole piece of sea cucumber and casually asked, "So, how's the food?" Wang Jiaojiao nodded absently and muttered, "It's fine." 2 words, but her voice was clearly on the verge of cracking. She was genuinely terrified her worst-case scenario was about to play out. Then I said something that made her poor, anxious heart nearly stop. "Good. Then this is our regular spot from now on." Wang Jiaojiao's eyes went wide. She was about to explode, then she heard me say, "Check, please." "The check!" The server's voice jumped 3 octaves. He'd been bracing for the dine and dash, but now this guy wanted to pay? He stood there stunned. Wasn't the play supposed to be complain about the food, find a hair in the dish, claim bad service, and then bounce? How was check please coming out of this guy's mouth? Wait, no, they want to pay. The server snapped out of it and rushed over with the bill he'd already had ready. All that disdain on his face, gone in an instant. Full-on customer service smile now. "Sir, your total comes to 169,000 yuan. We've waived the remainder." "Yep, card." I pulled out the black card. Swipe. Done. Wang Jiaojiao still hadn't fully processed it. He actually just dropped 160K on a meal. She pinched herself hard on the arm. The sting confirmed it. This was real. She'd actually just eaten a 160K dinner. Every time that thought crossed her mind, she felt like the world was spinning, because she'd spent the entire meal too scared to even taste anything. $160,000 worth of food, and she had no idea what any of it tasted like. Wang Jiaojiao wanted to slap herself. I just smiled coolly and told the server, "Get your owner out here. I want to talk about buying this place."